Howdy y'all, this is CJ here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing part 8 of the Fanhome's Millennium Falcon build. Hope you guys are ready, let's get to it. Alright, so before we get to the build, I want to give a good shout out real quick to Micromark. They went ahead and sent me a nice catalog with some materials that I could use for building models and such. We got paints, we got tools, and they do sell other models as well on their site. Just want to give a quick shout out to Micromark. Thank you for the catalog. But for right now, let's go ahead and get started with the build. Alright, so to start off with, let's go ahead and bring in our issue. And let's open it up to the first page. And right off the bat, we're looking at the Falcon and the Kessel Run. So this is the famed Kessel Run that Han Solo always brags about. So Han Solo's headlong escape from Kessel aboard the Millennium Falcon led to a breakneck dash to that would become the stuff of legend across the galaxy. So go ahead and turn the page. So here it's talking about a brain in a ship. So something about the final destination of L3-37. So let's see here. Throughout its long life, the Millennium Falcon underwent many changes and upgrades, but few were as unusual as the one it received while the ship was escaping from Kessel. Following L3-37's death, the Falcon crew decided to add the droid's huge memory to the Falcon's databanks so that she could aid their escape. It was a success, as thanks to the information and maps included in her memory, L3 was able to find a route out of the corridor. The droid brain became part of the Falcon, which displayed L3's quirky personality at times, and assisted Han Solo and Chewbacca on many occasions. Alright, and then there's a bit more information about it on the page. Go one page over, and then we got Technical Station. So, a large console in the Millennium Falcon's main hold integrates many of the ship's sensors and control systems, offering her crew a major performance upgrade over the standard setup. And then it's more about that right there. And then turn the page again. So page 4, you get things like droid interference, some more information about other characters. Continuing on, just this about control systems. You got some concept drawings right here of what the passage hall would look like, and then set dressing duties, kind of behind the scenes kind of information. Then go ahead and turn the page. And then we're finally to the what is the next set of parts that you would get in this issue, or sorry, this stage, whichever one you go with, up to you. So in this build, actually, we're going to be focusing on this sprue right here, and then one piece from this sprue over here. But let's go ahead and continue on. So let's go ahead and bring in our parts. So we got this right here. It actually looks like we're going to be using the other sprue as well. This sprue right here. So we're going to be pulling this, cutting this piece out. So let's go ahead and grab my side cutters. Again, like I said, I use Micromark. These are really good cutters. They get really nice and close to the product that you're cutting out. They're really precise. So let's go ahead and then clip the small instrument panel off the part 5 sprue and clip the 3 controls off the part 6 sprue. Trim off any surplus plastic but leave the fixing pins. So what it's talking about is on the back of here there's like small pins right here along the edges here. That kind of helps with lining it up to the product or the other piece of the build. So let's go ahead and cut that off. There we go. And like I said, it does a really good job of getting really close. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see with this camera, but it is like really, it's like flat. I won't even need to like, basically I don't even need to file it down. Let's go ahead and cut this piece off. Let's cut the control panel off. Again, really close, really clean. And let's go ahead and bring in our glue. And let's go ahead and put this right. So this control panel right here is actually going to be going into these little grooves right here. Oops, sorry, let's tip this down a little bit. There we go. So it's going to be going into these grooves right here along the bottom. So let's go ahead and grab the glue. Put a little bit of, I'm just going to put some glue right there. Just brush it on. Look at the control panel to make sure I'm putting it in the right spot or putting it in the right orientation. Alright. Alright, there we go. Kind of get a better look right there. So it's gonna sit like that. right in there. Oh. Alright, let's try putting some glue in some other spots real quick. Because where I put the glue apparently was not in a suitable place. So let's try that again. Just push that in. There we go. That should hold. Alright. Now let's grab the other sprue. Where did it? There it is. Grab this here. So let's see here. What am I pulling off? So it looks like we're going to be pulling off these 3 pieces right down here. Again, I know it's hard to see with my camera, but that's the ones that are going to be coming off as of right now. So let's go ahead and give these a good cut. Be very careful because these are going to be very small. All right. And now let's go ahead and lay this flat so I can see what I am doing. Let's go ahead and actually grab, see if I can't find my tweezers right there. There's a pair of tweezers right here. They're not the same as I usually use, but they'll work just the same. There we go. So let's go ahead and these are going to be going in. Let's see here. So, okay, so it's initially it shows you cutting part of the plastic off right there, but we don't actually want that. We want to get rid of that. So let's go ahead and, so like there's a little bit of plastic sticking out right here that we do not want. So let's go ahead and I'm actually going to grab my knife here and I'm just going to, okay, scratch that. Let's grab my clippers real quick and see if that'll give me an edge. There we go. All right. There. So now, so yes, we are dealing with some very small parts in this stage. Let's go ahead and put this in to here. Let's go ahead and get the other one. There. Alright. Get a little bit of glue on the end of this piece. Come on. Go where you're supposed to. Alright. There we go. So we got those in. Now, all that's left is this piece here. Let me run a file over this real quick just to make sure. I don't feel anything, but let's just put a file to this real quick. Because where this is going to be going is, see here. So this is going to be going, like I said, you can't really see very well, but it's going to be going into this corner right here. It's a bit of a little hole there for the little post. Just want to make sure everything is as flat as possible. Excluding the post that's supposed to be keeping it in place. There we go. Alright. I'm just gonna dab a little bit of glue right there. Oh, that's too much. Now, I got a piece of towel, paper towel, so I'll just go ahead and clean that off once I get this in place. There we go. So, something did happen that just now that I'm not too happy about, but I'll be able to fix it later. The glue kind of rubbed off the red dot that was on here. So later on, I'll just grab some red paint and I'll just put that red dot back on there. But that does kind of suck that happened. But in the meantime, it is what it is. There's not much I can really do about that right now. So let's go ahead and set that right there. So now it's talking about bringing in the floor. I believe we got this floor in the last step. In the last stage, it'd be this floor right here, and it's talking about preparing the hold floor. So basically, it's talking about doing some basically like thinning some drawing ink with water and brushing it into the grooves. So what I did, I didn't use drawing ink. what I did was I took black paint and then I diluted it with water. And then I brushed it on, giving it this wear, worn out feeling. Or look, sorry. So, that's how I got mine to look the way it does. This part, I don't mind doing a little bit of painting because it's not that hard. It doesn't really include all that much detail work. I'm basically just covering the whole thing in black paint and then letting it dry. Though I did, one thing you do want to do when you do this kind of thing with diluting it with water and putting it on is you want to take like a paper towel or a cloth or something, and once it dries for the most part, you want to just take it and just wipe off the excess, and that'll give you this grimy, dirty look that you see here. So let's go ahead and turn the page. And now we're going to bring in the next set of parts. And we're actually going to be bringing back in the parts that we saw in part 7. So we got this piece here, these, and this bench. So, first step that it's talking about is basically taking like white paint, or sorry, light gray, and pick out the details that are on the back of the, what would be the bench. I don't trust myself to be able to do that and make it look good, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. If you guys want to do that, you are more than free to do so. I'm just not going to do it because I don't think I will be able to do it successfully. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and start putting this together. So we want to take the bed, or sorry, the bunk. Bed, bunk, it's about the same thing. You want to take this that you built in the last stage, and you want to put it right in here. Just set it down, kind of give it a push to get it seated. And then you want to put some glue on these 4 tabs here. Let's get a little bit closer so you can see. Yeah, so you got the 4 tabs here, and you want to put glue on that. And then you want to, let's turn this around so you can see, you want this grooved piece on this part to face outward so that the opening of the bunk is still whole or open. So let's go ahead and put some glue on here. Put some glue on this side, this one, and this one. Alright, now let's go ahead and push this on. I gave a nice satisfying click as it went into place. And then now you want to grab, where is it? We want the sprue that the control panel came from right here, and we got this piece here. So it's talking about how you want to basically file down the edges, get it, cleaner, and then you'd want to paint it white. You want to paint it white because these are lights. So these are lights that are going to go onto here. It does say that painting them is optional, but it says to do it before you remove it. So before I started filming, I went ahead and already painted them because I wanted to make sure I had it. I didn't want to take up too much time with it. And like I said before, I don't plan on doing demonstrations of how to paint. I'm not good at painting. I'll never claim to be, so I'll never try to give any instruction on how to do it, or at least not too much. But let's go ahead and cut these out. And the instructions do say that you want to cut just, there's like a little section, there's a little bit of a nub that you want to cut. So you want to leave a little bit of space between the sprue and the part. So you want a little, so basically when you cut it out, there should be like a small nub left behind on the part that you're cutting out. There we go. Let's make sure I got, let's just clean it up a little bit. The white paint kind of made it hard for me to see where the edge actually was. So, alright, there we go. I got that cut out. And this is going to be going right here. So, as you can see, there's actually, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, there we go. So there's two little notches right in here that the light's going to go into. So let's go ahead, and I'm actually going to put a little bit of glue right in these notches, because as I've said before, this liquid cement and paint don't mix very well, so I don't want to turn that. Sorry, my tablet decided to give me a warning. So now let's go ahead and put this onto our base. And we're going to be using the screws that we got in our last video, in our last issue. We're going to be attaching them to this part of the floor. So let's go ahead and try to line everything up. It's gonna sit like this. Let's grab our screwdriver and just start screwing it in. Alright. I didn't tighten it all the way just because I wanted to get the rest of the screws in. Get everything lined up. So let's go ahead and put this screw in. There we go. Come on. There we go. Alright. Grab the next one. So the rest of them should just go right into where they're supposed to be. Just need one of you right now, one at a time. Alright. And one more right here. Okay, so this is where you're supposed to actually read the directions properly, because this actually says to only use 2 screws, not all 5. I'm going to go ahead and just leave them the way they are for right now. I'm not going to tighten them, but just leave that there. Let's go ahead and continue on. So let's go ahead and bring in our sprue here. And let's cut out our backrests for the bench. So just start cutting them out.
The world has changed. I see it in the water. I feel it in the earth. I smell it in the air. Much that once was is lost, and none now live.
Alright, so just go ahead and put that off to the side for now. Actually, we won't be needing it for the rest of the build, so we can go ahead and just set that there. So let's go ahead and go through these real quick and kind of take the file and file down any edges that may be there. Again, you can use your finger to try to find them. There we go. Like I said, for me it doesn't take very long because my cutters are they can get very close to the product. So if there is any left over, it's not much, so it doesn't take me very long to file it down. I'm not going to worry about anything that might be on these tabs here. So the mere fact that these are just going to be going into the back here and they're not going to be seen, and I don't think they're going to be much of a hindrance in the overall design. So let's just continue on. go. As I'm doing this, I'll just point out real quick that as you can probably notice, these are not all the same size. There's those that are thicker, or sorry, wider. They're the wider ones, and then we have these thin ones right here, which will go in between the wider ones to kind of fill in the seat. This one's got a little bit of a mold flash from on the sides of these pins, so I'm going to file that down just a little bit. Not much, because I don't want to hinder it. Alright, there we go. Set that down. And then it said to test fit them real quick. Don't put them in, just test fit them to make sure that they fit. Oops. Let's go ahead and this one. This. Probably help if I just set that down for right now. This one here. And then this one. This one. Oh, okay. So let's just check to make sure they all fit. Some fit a little bit more snug than others, but that's okay. And test thin ones as well. I'm not looking to keep them in place. I'm just making sure that that they sit inside the holes. All right. So let's go ahead and put this in place. Yep. So they're going to go into these 3 holes here on the floor. So then there's these 3 posts on the bottom here. I'm going to give it a little bit of glue on the posts. It's going to be a bit of a snug fit, but it never hurts to be careful. Never hurts to make sure. So let's just push that down. There we go. Push that right in. Alright, so now it does say that you'd normally want this to be, it'd just be temporarily put in, because it says that you'll find it easier to put the walls on when the seat's not there. Because it's so far away, distance wise, I think if I just remove this piece here, I think it'll be fine. But we'll find out. Well, let's go ahead and pull this apart real quick just to make sure. Just so I'm not... I don't make my life harder later. There we go. Let the glue dry. Alright. Let's go ahead and push these back in. There. Alright. So, let's go ahead and start gluing these into place. So one seat at a time. I'm not going to glue the backs on because we're going to have to remove this just to get the wall on, get the walls on. So, bottoms in. Actually, before I continue, let's put just a little bit of glue on the sides to help fix them to the other arm, to the other backrest. There we go. So now let's push this in. There we go. Now it does say in the instructions to paint back of the bench. I am not going to do that because it already seems pretty weathered already, so I don't really see any need to. And it is optional. Anything to do with painting is completely optional. They even say in the instructions that if you want to do it, you can, but you're not required to do it. And as you can see, I'm just kind of going back and forth between the wide ones and the thin ones. Kind of give these a push down just to make sure they are seating properly. Oops. Grab the wrong back. Let's try that again. There we go. Grab this little bit more glue. This glue dries actually rather quickly. It's one of the reasons why I kind of like it, because it's it doesn't take it long to cure. we go. All right. So now we got our completed seats. You can see them all the way around. And I think that looks really good. Don't think there's much else to do. Just let that sit and dry out. And that is it for this issue. All right. So that was part 8 of Fanhome's Millennium Falcon. If you guys enjoyed this kind of video, be sure to hit that like, share, and subscribe button down below. And be sure to hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any future videos that I post. Now, if you guys want to build this model for yourself, I'll put a link in the description down below for Fanhome's website for you to check out on your own. If you guys enjoyed the music that was playing in the background of this video, I'll also put a link to the artist's YouTube channel for you guys to check out. His name is Dave Bronze, does really good music. I think you guys will enjoy it. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.